Hey everybody, this is Erman Baradi. Thanks so much for tuning in. It is August 19th. We're almost like a little under 3 months until the November election, so it's getting really close. So for those who've known me for the last year, even the last few years, I do a lot of entertainment industry events. We hopped on virtual because of COVID, but in the last few months, we've done a lot of interviews where we connect with everyday people who talk politics or just want to express who they are, what they believe without any filters, without any judgments. So I've been doing a lot of that the last few months, and it's really cool to connect with people through healthy conversations, whether or not we believe in what they believe. It's just cool to hear the other side without judgments, without arguments. Just let them be. So today we have Becky from Jersey, who happens to be known on Instagram as LaTrumpista. So you can see who she's voting for in November.
Yes.
But she's also part of the Lexit Movement, which we can dive into that more into the interview. So welcome, Becky. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
So we follow each other on Instagram. I've seen your post. I see what you're about. But let's break it down for those watching. So before we begin and talk about politics, I just want to talk to you about your background. It's something I ask everybody. Talk about your background, your environment, how you came to be, because I think it all leads up to your political beliefs, right? So
No, yeah, definitely.
yeah, so let's talk about your your upbringing, and how you came to be.
Well, I have an accent because I was born in New York, but I was raised in Puerto Rico. My dad is Puerto Rican and my mom is Italian and Dominican. And I am so proud of my roots and all I am. I started this because I grew up in a very conservative home. Latinos are conservative by heritage. That's something that any Hispanic person will tell you. They know, even if they're now liberal, they will say my mom, my dad was very strict or was always conservative or is a conservative mom and dad. Always. Like even if they're in a different world today, like if they have that mindset of whatever left or liberal mindset, they will always say, at least my mom and my dad raised me this way. And even though I lived in a household where the first language was Spanish, I was always taught to respect my country, to love my country. And Puerto Ricans, they are part of the United States, so we have to sing the anthems, both of them, the American anthem and the Puerto Rican anthem, and we have to wave both flags. So it is something that I always had since I was little. Always, my parents encouraged me to love my country. So when I came back 11 years ago, I learned more and more and more because I love history. And that's when I became more, engaged with the politics, the Constitution, and everything that's been happening. And then in 2016, when the whole election things was happening, I heard at first time that Trump was gonna run because of Alex Jones. I used to listen to this guy because a lot of the things that he shared before the elections was according to the prophecies in the Bible, which we can talk about that on another time. So I always listened to what he was always sharing. Of course, I don't follow everything, but there's certain things that you follow that you say, you know what, yeah, this makes sense and this doesn't. And that's when I started looking more into Donald J. Trump. And then I follow Hillary Clinton and Donald J. Trump under social media. In that time, sorry.
Someone was calling. You're a very popular woman. I get it.
I know. Sorry. In that time, more likely it was Facebook. They were doing rallies and doing live streaming. Yep. So when that happened, I said, the media is lying, it's blocking us, it's doing all these things. Let me just follow them and see what exactly they're talking about and they're offering in their agendas, because live streaming cannot be edited, cannot be cut and edited. So that's when I started listening to both of them, and I put two and two together. I was like, wait a second. the person that actually goes according to my values and everything that I know as a good citizen of this country is Donald J. Trump. And in 2016, I voted for him. And to actually go straight to now the question that you asked me, the answer is I got tired of hiding. For 4 years, these 3.5 years, we've been like hiding. We voted. We couldn't say who we voted for. We were highly attacked by everybody else that hated the president. And you've seen how the media has done everything possible and the left to make him seem like the bad guy. So I got tired of that. And in February, I opened my IG account, LaTrumpista, and here you have me. Lexit welcomed me. LaTrumpista was born, and here I am advocating and being so vocal. I'm so vocal.
I see that, yeah. Yeah. I mean, how much hatred did you get from the left for having a name like that? And not only that, but like fellow Latinos. How did they come at you because you're like, wait a minute, you're a traitor, you're a sellout. How did they come at you?
So that's like the most famous line that they use. Oh, you're a sellout. We don't recognize you as a Latina or whatever. So I'm like, first of all, I don't need no
as if suddenly your skin color changed because of who you voted for.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need recognition from any community or minority. First of all, second, just because I'm a Latina and I have an accent, that doesn't mean that I need to vote Democrat. I am a free thinker. I use my brain for the right reasons. And like I said, I'm a free thinker, critical thinker, and nothing that I am has to influence into me voting or who am I going to vote for. For example, I always say that, you know, my background, my ethnicity, nationality, however some people call it, my accent, my skin color, has nothing to do with that. I didn't choose to have a Puerto Rican dad and an Italo-Dominican mother. I didn't choose to be born in the United States and taken away when I was 3 years old to Puerto Rico and be raised there. I didn't choose none of these things. Now I get to choose who I'm going to vote for in November 3rd. And I'm choosing to vote for Donald J. Trump because he's the president that cares about everybody, not just one race, not just one people, not, you know, one little agenda. He cares for every American because at the end, and this is an example that I give to people so they can free think. When you go to war, the enemy will look at your uniform and to them, you're not Asian, you're not Hispanic, you're not Black, you're not white, you are an American citizen. And they will kill you for that. They don't care if you look like them. They will kill you because you are an American, because you're holding the American flag on your shoulder. And that's what people need to understand. And that's how I see how the president it's working and how he see the American people as one, not as minorities. Minorities are created by the Democrats, honestly. That's how I think. That's
you talk about like the grouping, like the division.
Yeah. Asians, Hispanic, like the society is conditioned to, when you see the media, an African-American guy was killed by the white, like this guy, 20-something years old, was murdered by this 45-year-old. Why don't you say that instead of just, you know, dividing? The media divides. The Democrats divide. They always attack the president for saying that he's dividing this country. He has not divided this country. To the contrary, when you see the movement that he has created, which is Make America Great Again, which is Keep America Great, which is the Trump movement, because we have become a reformed party. We have become a new party. Like the Republican Party is a new party. You see how he's running solo. He's running solo with the patriots that are behind him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you see this movement, you see people of every color, religion, background. You see Jewish, Muslims, Christians, all type of religions all together. You see different professions, nurses, teachers, police officers, all these people for Trump, women for Trump, Latinos for Trump, Black voices for Trump. You see everybody for Trump. Go find out, go to the campaign and check out how many people say such for Trump, Asians for Trump. Now we have a new movement called the Exit, which is Asians exiting the Democratic Party. Okay?
That's new to me. I heard of Lexit. I didn't know there was exit. How do you spell it? AEXIT?
Exit is AXIT.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's cool. Just follow him. He's the Korean conservative. He's the founder, and you can follow the Exit movement. And I'm telling you, this is amazing because he was telling me that a lot of Asians are not vocal, and he's trying to turn his Asian people to be more vocal, to say more.
Yeah.
And yeah, go ahead.
I'll say, to your credit, it's funny you say that, because I had this discussion with a friend the other day. They're like, hey, how come if there's a lot of minorities who are on the right or they support Trump, how come if they truly exist, how come they don't say nothing? And it's because, well, there can be a backlash. Just kind of like the comments you got. So they do exist. It's just that they are part of the silent majority because they can't say anything. They're not free to have that voice because there's repercussions to it. You'll get canceled, you get fired.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to tell you, everybody who's listening or will listen to this later, it is very important to know your rights. Go to, Department of Labor, go to a lawyer, find out what will happen if your employer will fire you because of these things. Try to find ways to get proof of the reason why they're firing you or letting you go and stuff like that. That's one. Number two, are you going to just let these people to control your life because of your job? There are plenty of jobs out there. And I literally quit one job one day because they were making me lie all the time. And I cannot do that. I'm a woman of integrity. I'm a woman of my word. I'm very honest, the most that I can be, because I'm a human being. But I don't like to have a job where my voice is shut down.
Now, when you say lie, do you mean like politically, like you had to lie about who you voted for? Is that what you mean?
No, like
in general.
They were making me lie to clients and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I didn't want to do that. Like I wasn't comfortable, and it was going against my religion because I'm a Christian, and I mean, it's going against God. It's going against everything. I mean, as a person of integrity. And I mean, find that out. Number two, if you're not vocal, start practicing. If you are not into, well, there's so many ways. For example, there are podcasts. You don't need to put your face out there, just your voice. That's it. You can blog by write columns. I don't know, start doing something. You don't need to be on a camera, talk. You could be vocal in so many ways. You can educate people in so many ways, but do not be afraid of speaking out, because your voice is important. And you cannot let nobody take away your rights. And why I say your rights, because this is part of the First Amendment, and we are letting people taking it away from us. Look at today how Goodyear is telling people, do not go into the store with Blue Lives Matter hats or anything, any gear from Blue Lives Matter. Don't go into the store with any gear that says MAGA or Trump or any political movement. But then you have the other part says BLM and Black Lives Matters and all, and I cannot breathe gear is acceptable. That is still a political statement. So why are you doing this? So these people right now, they're losing a lot of business because they're trying to shut down your voice. Like, who are you to tell me what to wear? Where are we living? We are in the United States of America, and we have all the rights possible to wear whatever we want to wear. Like right now, I have a Lexit shirt, and I go outside with this. Some people's gonna know what this is and some people don't. If somebody asks me, I'll tell them. But I always have my hats on, my gear that says Trump 2020. I got my hat that say Make America Great Again. I travel with that, you know, and I don't care. And I haven't get beaten up yet. And I hope not, because I can defend myself. But I mean, guys, we need to stand firm for what we believe, honestly. Go ahead,
Now,
brother.
transition to the next topic because you already mentioned it. So thank you for segueing for me. Let's talk about Lexit. So, because some people do know what it is, some people don't. So for you, in your own words, how would you describe the movement?
Well, again, Lexit means Latinos exiting from the Democratic Party. I was one because even though my whole family was always conservative, they always voted red. When it was time for me to vote, even my family that was a Republican and me, we all voted for Obama the first term because he kind of like bought everybody with the idea of I'm for everyone. He was the worst president ever, okay? And of course, in the second term, nobody else in my family nor me voted for him. I think I didn't even vote it in that time. But the first term we did. So I felt like in one sense, I was a Democrat that came out. But a lot of people that they feel the same way, they feel like they were in this Democratic plantation, in this left bubble, and they just break it down and was red pilled and
You're red pilled, girl. You got red pilled. Who red pilled you?
To the world.
Who red pilled you?
Well, I red pilled myself.
Okay.
I would say if somebody would have red pilled me like that, it would have been the same president.
Okay.
Because I was following both of them, Hillary and Trump, and he convinced me that he was the right candidate to vote for. And I didn't even know that he was going to be so good. Now that he has kept all his promises and beyond, I feel, wow, my vote really mattered and it was worth it. And I'm voting for him again in November. And I'm just happy. I'm happy that he's our president. And I'm glad and we're blessed. Everybody, even Democrats are blessed to have him as the president with this whole thing with the virus and whatever else. They're lucky and blessed that he is the president today.
So for you, what are your core values and how has Trump and the Republican Party answered them? And what are the most important issues to you coming this November?
Pro-life, number one. Pro-life. I'm a mother. I lost my first baby when I was 5 months pregnant. And the same week that I lost my baby, I got phone calls from friends of mine that they were aborting their children because of their boyfriends, okay? And I'm talking to you 11 years ago, 10 years ago. The same day that I lost my baby, this guy threw his 3-month-old baby girl through the breach. So I'm like, and then the Democrats, and just like this is one video that I shared today about a bill that was passed through the Senate of the United States of America. And it was like a 50-something against 41. The 41 that voted against the bill were all Democrats. And the bill was about amending the Title 18, which is for protecting the baby once there's an abortion or attempt of abortion and the baby comes out alive. The baby becomes an American citizen and has all the rights as any other American citizen. And the Democrats voted no. They voted against that. All of them, 41 of them. And some of the people that was there was Schumer, Kamala Harris, okay? And you can look it up. You can literally look it up. I'm not lying. It's just sick. If you go to congress.gov, you'll see the top 10 more search is literally that one. The 116th Congress first session. Read it. I'm not lying to you guys. Read it. It's right there. That's number one. Number two, guns. My family owned guns for the longest. My dad is going to be 80 years old and he owned guns and I own guns and my family own guns. We all own guns. And I think that's a right that we need to have as Americans that came out, these rights are being established for a long time and we need to have our own guns. We cannot let these people to attack our Second Amendment. And number 3, many things more, like for example, medical freedom, medical freedom. We talking about school choice. We talking about we don't need certain things in the kids' curriculum. Okay, whatever you want to teach them, teach it. You want to teach them certain things, go ahead and do it in your house. I don't think that the public system, the schools need to teach my children things that I don't agree with. But they take the cursive out, so kids don't know. 8 years back, there's no kids. Let's say for the last 8 years, there's no children that know cursive. So how are they gonna sign a check? They don't know how to save money. They don't know how to save money. They don't know how to do their taxes, how to create an LLC, how to create their own business. Nothing. Why? Because they want to teach them other things that have nothing to do with anything. You know what's going on here in New Jersey starting September? Kids are going to start learning, well, the 8th graders, they're going to start learning about anal sex and masturbation. Like, why do they need to know that? Like, from a school teacher. They need to know that maybe from the dad, the mom. Why from a school teacher?
Hold on. Okay, pause real quick. So, how did that come to fruition? How did that come to be, that agenda?
Listen, this is and this is something that I spoke about today on my video when I was talking about the Senate bill. These local governments and federal governments, they pass bills daily. And people don't know about it, so people don't fight about it. So they just keep passing them. And it's so unconstitutional. No, they don't let nobody know until it's already there. I mean, I have a lot of friends that are homosexual. I don't care. Like those are my friends. I don't have nobody in my family, but I do have friends. And I grew up with some friends too. But even them, they're agreeing with me that they shouldn't be no homosexual curriculum in the schools. If you want to talk to your kids, I talk to my kids all the time. I have a 5-year-old daughter and an almost 10 years old boy. My boy already knows if he likes somebody. So I will talk to him about these things. I will talk to him about dating, even though it's not time for him to date yet. I will talk to him about who he likes and how to start, even though he doesn't do that yet. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, he's going to learn it the wrong way with the wrong person.
Oh,
you get it?
Yes. Yeah.
Was you hearing me?
No, I heard you. You paused for like a moment, but
okay.
it was because you pressed. I think you pressed a certain
button. By mistake.
Yeah. See, no. Hey, like I said, all unedited. We keep it rolling. We keep it rolling. But actually, I want to touch on that point because when it comes to the mainstream sense of things, people can look at Republicans and say, oh, in terms of homosexuality, in terms of gun violence, in terms of abortion, it seems like a party that just controls you in a certain way, or they try to hammer certain beliefs in you. What are some misconceptions about these values that the mainstream audience sees, and they can turn against you because they think that you're a certain way? But what if you can defend the party, how would you say that these certain values are misconceived?
They are. For example, the pro-choice people. It's like, okay, you're pro-choice, my body, my choice, but what about me wearing a mask? Then is my body, my choice too. The majority of these agendas from the left are hypocrite. They're hypocrite. Hold
on. She's talking to her kids, guys.
This is life.
It's mom life. I get it.
So, for example, pro-choice is a hypocrite movement, just like the Me Too movement. And I'm going to break it to you real quick right now. Pro-choice, my body, my choice, then it's my body, my choice to wear a mask or not. Then it's my choice or not to get a flu shot or a coronavirus shot or any vaccine, because it's my body, my choice. And then if it's my body, my choice, then why do you need to put vaccines on my children if it's my children? This is just an example, right? So, and then that bothers me because they're like, oh, my body, my choice, but it's not your body. You have another body inside of you. So it's not your body. When it comes to the gun, oh, this guy shooting at this school, and all the school shootings and the gay club in Florida, all these shootings that have been happening, this is not about race, because the guy that shot out the Pulse Club was not Hispanic or white or black. You know, we talking about, it's not about, we cannot see people by races for certain narrative, and for other ones, oh, we just forget about the race. We need to keep the same energy on everything. So just because one crazy person try to kill all these people, now everybody in America needs to take, get their guns taken. So the bad people gets to keep their guns, because bad people will always try to find a way to get guns. They have the illegal guns.
Like black market.
They go to the
stuff.
black,
okay.
Yeah, they go to the black market and they got it. But us, we need to grow. We need to go through a process to be licensed, to train, psychological test, all these things. It varies per state, but a lot of people don't understand that this is per state. So every state needs to reform the gun laws and make it better, but not take our guns away. If a criminal has 10 guns, I want 20. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And that's a problem with America today. A lot of people, they just see what the media tells them. Oh yeah, this shootout here. But what about Chicago? Every night, every weekend. Last month, in one weekend, 101 people shot. 101 in one weekend. Okay? You think that's normal? And then we want to defund the police? With the Me Too movement of the left, it's only Me Too when they want to, when it's convenient to their narrative, because what happened with Vanessa Guillen? The military young woman that was killed by another military person. Why didn't you cover it? Because he was black and you were still pandering on the minorities? He cut her into pieces and burned her. Nobody covered this.
I actually didn't know the name until you said it. I didn't know who the person was.
Why? Because the media never covered it. Did you also know that the president took his family to the White House to talk to them and actually offer them help with the funerals in case the army wasn't able to? A lot of people don't know that either. So where is the Me Too movement when Vanessa Guillen was killed? And not only that, because she was already killed and may she rest in peace, but what about the sexual harassment issues that are going on in the army, in any branch of the military in this country? Where is the Me Too movement? Where is it? Pro-choice, my body, my choice, then it's my body, my choice to not wear a mask. The guns, I want a gun if a criminal has a gun. You see what I'm talking about?
Would you call it, okay, so there's a phrase, and hopefully I'm saying it the right way. So there's a phrase I want to throw your way, and let me know what you think about it. You call these situations selective rage?
I'm sorry?
Oh, would you call these situations selective rage, where you kind of pick and choose what goes with their narrative, so you kind of talk about this but not this? Like, you see situations and you're kind of selective about what to be mad about?
It's not that they see this and not that. They know what's going on in this country. They know what's going on. They just decide to pick and choose and cover what goes according to their narrative. That is the problem we're talking about. We're not talking about, oh yeah, they see this, but not that. No, they see it. That's the worst part. They see what's going on. They know what's going on, but they choose what to cover and what not, because they know how to pander. Why are the Democrats pandering now on USPS? They're pandering. They continue to pander. Every little situation they have, every opportunity they have, they will pander. I don't want to be a useful idiot. I don't want to be a useful idiot by the left. I decide to wake up, stay awake, and not be used by them. I am not their puppet. I am my own thinker. I can think for myself. I don't need nobody to tell me or influence me or try to use me for their own benefits, because all they want is your vote. And once they're there, they don't do nothing for you. Look at what Obama did. He didn't do nothing. Nothing. All he did was a lot of laws and regulations. The majority of them were unconstitutional. Divide this country. People couldn't even say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Like, what the heck is that? Okay? There's so many things that he took away from the American culture. And he didn't help the minorities at all. He didn't help the Black communities. He didn't help the Hispanics. And then he offered, since the first term, he offered an immigration reform. And I want to tell you guys something. When the immigrants say, oh, you know, immigrants, a lot of people think about Mexicans and all Hispanics. Immigrants are anybody that comes into this country from another country, not just Hispanics, okay? The majority of illegal immigrants are from Asia. Look it up. It has nothing to do with China. Asia is big, okay? We have Indians. We have all type of people there. Look it up. And Africa. Look it up. Not Hispanics, okay? But they want to pander into the Hispanics because they know the Asians are not vocal. So they will pander into the Hispanics because the Hispanics are the noisy ones. We're the ones that, that's not like that. Oh, no, but that's not what I heard. So they be like, okay, let me pander into these people so they calm down. Because if they don't calm down, then somebody's going to come out and speak out and it's going to mess us up. So then we have Obama since the beginning of the first term offering, immigration reform for everybody. For everybody, he didn't do nothing the first term. And the second term, on his last time, like it was like literally probably like the last year and a half, he rushed in the DACA reform, the DACA Act, whatever. And this DACA is horrible. It's trash. Let me explain you real quick because a lot of people don't know what DACA is. DACA is for the dreamers. The dreamers are kids that came into the United States with their parents because their parents crossed the border. Meaning, these kids, it's not their fault that they're in the United States. So, of course, they went to school, they know English, they love their country, and they want to do more for their country. But you know what happened with DACA? DACA is just a card to not get deported. You cannot join the forces. You cannot, the military, same thing. You cannot have a federal job. You can only go to school and go to work just like a slave, and you cannot even go back to your country, ever. And I get another phone call. Ever. You cannot at all. So is that a good reform? Now, President Trump is trying to take that out, rip that off. Let's get rid of DACA and let's bring something else that could give them probably amnesty to approximately 68 million people. Okay? I don't know if you guys know, but Reagan did the same thing. Now, why the Democrats are blocking him from doing this? Because he will look good. Because the Hispanic community will vote for him. No second thinking. Why Pelosi just went on vacations until Labor Day instead of helping to approve this second stimulus check because she doesn't want Trump to look good. It's all about power with these people. If you want to keep voting Democrat, go ahead. Now, as a Latina that has 3 countries right now suffering under communism and socialism, I'm telling you right now, you don't want your country, the United States of America, to turn into the next Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua. You don't. I don't. I think this is the most generous and amazing country there is. The most, the most free country there is right now. That's why a lot of people come here, because of freedom, safety, and of course, because we have a good economy system, and with Donald Trump even more before this Rona happened. And we're picking up again, even though there's so many small businesses hurting. So don't tell me that you still, after this whole conversation with my friend here, you're still voting Democrat. Please think about it. I'm just saying, think about it.
So check this out.
Do your own research. Don't listen to me. Just
check this out. This is what happens when we go totally unedited. I make it a point that we don't edit anything. I had to grab my charger really quick and plug in my laptop. So, but we're gonna keep it running to show you the point that we don't edit anything.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this part, continue to enjoy Becky's face.
Thank you. And we're back.
And we're back. I was hoping you would crack a joke or two during this intermission.
I was gonna wait for you because I don't know what exactly you want me to do. So, but it's okay. We're good.
It's okay. I was hoping you say a joke maybe in Spanish, if you have any Spanish mom jokes. Is that a thing? Mom jokes? I don't even know.
No.
So there's something I want to talk about, because we spoke briefly about this before we started recording. And you did bring it up a few minutes ago. You call the party, you said the party is being like restructured or reframed in a way.
Reformed, yes.
Sorry, that's the right word, reformed. So I mean, look what's going on. So like yesterday, you had Ana Paulina won her primary in Florida. You have like Major Williams running for governor in California.
Boomer.
Boomer won, and then like. Something went viral the other day, which was Kimberly Klasich's video from Baltimore. She's a Black Republican running in Congress in Baltimore, and her video went viral. Like when I say viral, I mean like everybody saw it. More people watched it than the DNC. So it was the video of her speaking about how Democrat cities who've been under the same like party for 50 years are like crumbling. So for you, this is something I like to ask a lot of my guests. For you, what is it that in 2020 of all years, why do you feel like a lot of young people of color are running as Republicans this year?
Let me tell you why. People are fed up. The generation that I believe that the millennials are waking up. And I remember last election, people was like, oh, these millennials. And I'm like, wait a second, I'm a millennial. Like, maybe you're talking about Generation Z. They cray. Like, they need Jesus. Like, this, I don't know who's raising this new generation coming up, but they are rebels. They're literally, I don't know what they're doing. And I feel so sad. And not everybody, I cannot generalize, but Generation Z is a danger for these elections right now, because they don't know what's going on. They're into just being popular, and they're not doing the research. And let me tell you something, the millennials that are running, like Kim, we have a lot of people, like I'm a millennial and I'm 31 years old, but We
Girl, you
have,
look 21. What are you talking about? 31?
gracias.
Get out of here. 21.
Yeah, I'm 31. I'm very proud of it. So, and then we have a lot of Hispanics and Black, and it's just amazing, brother, what's going on, you know, with our country. But like I told you, the reform is because we finally have a candidate that is not a politician. We have a candidate that have actually said, you know what? I'm not a politician. I'm just somebody like you, and I'm running for president. And boom, he won. I told this to somebody the other day, and that person started attacking me like, oh, so a millionaire from New York is a regular citizen? I'm like, since when your skin color or background or ethnicity and now what you have in your pockets or in your bank determines how American you are?
Well, to your credit, it's funny you said to your credit. I do gotta butt in here and say that Bloomberg has 50 billion in the bank, and he ran for president as a candidate for presidency. And Trump has like, I think Trump is like left to 2 or 3 billion, whereas Bloomberg has like 50 billion. You know, so yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I just have to throw that little fact in there.
What? Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter if you are a multi-billionaire or you have $1. You are an American. Like, I don't see why that's a regular citizen. Yeah, he is a regular citizen. He is. That he has the brains to hustle and multiply his money. Let him be. Well, God bless him. You know, but that doesn't take away that he's a New York citizen and a United States of America citizen. Like, that doesn't make sense. So now a lot of people saw what he's doing. A lot of people see that he's running, like I told you before, solo. The same people in the government that are Republicans, those are the old Republicans, you know, that people got tired of the parties.
The out of touch one, right?
Yeah, until Trump came in, and he was like, ooh. So the reason why there's a lot of people now running for Republican, it's because they want to make a change, and they see that the Republican Party is the best to affiliate themselves with because of the values, you know, the moral values, but not because of the party, but because of Trump. Because the Republican Party, the face of that party now is Trump. Period. You know, and that's why a lot of people is running. I have a lot of people telling me, run for mayor, run for Congress. I don't want to run for Congress because I don't want to become a Pelosi puppet, because I will definitely have my voice and speak out and say, but at the end, she's the Speaker of the House. So I don't feel like working with her or under her, because I'll literally, I don't know. I could even no, I can't. I'm not even going to say it. I'll lose it. I'll lose it over AOC, and I'll lose it about anybody that will say something stupid in that Congress. So I'd rather just stay here, relax. I don't need that stress. I don't need my hair to fall out. But when it comes to being like mayor, stuff like that, I don't know. Maybe one day.
One day. Hopefully, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe one day. So
you do have a nice following. So I don't know how many of them are in Jersey, but I mean, you can get them riled up if you wanted.
Nah, I'm trying to. Well, I'm praying to God that next year we have a good candidate for governor, so we can win, because we don't need Murphy anymore. He's incompetent. He's the worst governor that we'd have ever had, and he needs to go.
Okay. So, since you talk about governors, I want to ask you this question. Mm-hmm. My first time asking this to anybody. I'm curious to hear what you have to say. So, when it comes to like the pandemic, when it comes to the riots, do you personally feel? I mean, it probably is a biased answer, but to be as unbiased as possible, do you feel like the governors, especially the Democratic governors, are trying to make Trump look bad, so they're not working with him as much when it comes to, you know, the pandemic, when it comes to the riots?
No, I mean, they're not trying to make him look bad. They're making fool of themselves, because people know what the president is doing and what has done. For example, let me give you Cuomo. The hospital ship that was sent to New York, It was sent back to where it came from because it was never used. All the hospitals that they built in New York, empty. New Jersey, same thing. New York gave New Jersey everything that they had left because they never used it. Then New Jersey became the epicenter of the tri-state area. We had Murphy and Cuomo sending sick people to the homes, and a lot of elderly died because of that. There's a building in my city that in 1 week, 23 elderly died. 23. Coño, like, I don't know how else do we need to say these things. I don't know how else we need to show you guys. Another thing, and this is a fact from the same governor, Murphy, New Jersey. Since May until Monday the 17th, 4 deaths. 4. Since May. And the state's still running like it's on phase 2. And I have my friend of mine, I don't know if you've heard of him, Ian. He's the owner of the gym Attilis in Belmar, New Jersey. He's been persecuted by the governor. He's being locked up. He was threatened to be arrested again this week. And he has 15,000 fees, ticket fees every day, daily, 15,000 for keeping his gym open. But then his wife can have the gym open for the Olympic teams that the governor and his wife have. But then the other gyms around the state cannot be open because of the danger, the damage that he wants to do to Ian. See how selfish the Democrats are? It's sickening. It's like, how can people don't see this? I don't get it. It's right there on your faces. You get arrested if you don't wear a mask. You go to jail. And it's just mandatory. It's not a law. It's just a mandatory thing to do. It's not a law for them to get arrested and go to a trial and stuff like that. You know what they do? They arrest them and they let them go after. Just kind of like just for a lesson. What lesson? For me, a lesson for me not to vote for you in November. Lesson. You know?
You're so funny.
I mean, it's true. It doesn't make sense. I mean, people, wake up. Wake up. Any other questions before I go?
It's so funny. I was about to say, we hit the hour mark with you. We're about to hit the hour mark with you. So I love speaking with you. You're so passionate. You know, I can throw any question your way, and I feel like you have a really good researched answer. You know, you don't speak with emotion. You speak with emotion, with passion. But what I mean was, you speak
with passion, not emotion.
Yeah, you speak with passion and facts, and you research your answers rather than like you just throwing some words out there. So I applaud you for that. So before we go, where can folks keep in touch with you? I mentioned your Instagram earlier.
Before that,
go ahead.
I want to say we need to do this on Instagram. I promise. Let's do this on Instagram.
Sure.
Second, you can find me on LaTrumpista, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Parler, on TikTok. Everywhere the same. Yeah, I don't use it much, but I use it. Everywhere, all social media, same thing. At which is LA, Trumpista, LaTrumpista.
I gotta ask you, do you have merchandise? And if so, do you have any shirts to send? Do you just have any shirts to send to Trump? Like, do you have something you want to be like, hey, Trump, here's my shirt with your name on it?
Well, I do have merchandise.
And delivered.
I do have merchandise. I haven't launched it publicly yet, but it's already there. If you guys are gonna be the first one taking advantage of this announcement, you're gonna go to modestyspot.com. modestyspot.com, and you're gonna use the code LOUNGE20 for a 20% discount. People keep calling me. I can't believe it. You're gonna go to modestyspot.com and you're gonna use the discount code for 20% off on the whole order. Any Lounge 20. All right. ModestySpot.com. And the code for the 20% off is Lounge 20.
Lounge 20, guys.
Yes.
Your profile picture on Zoom looks so much better than mine. Like, let's put your picture on there. Then look at mine.
Because
my hair is so out colored. Look at the color of it. It's so bad.
I do professional makeup, so when I do my makeup like real nice, then thank you so much for inviting me.
Of course, it was a fun chat. Yeah, can't believe we had an hour-long conversation. So. And
we could keep going if I would have more time.
Hey, maybe a follow-up in November. November 4th, whatever happens, let's do an interview. Like, no,
definitely. Let's talk about it.
I feel like I'm gonna like take a nap that night and just wake up and see what happens.
I can't do that. I'm a fan of Miss Universe, so I can never do that. I have to watch like the whole thing and scream and cry. Puerto Rico almost wins this, past year, and I cried so much when Puerto Rico got first, runner. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for following me, and don't forget to follow Lexit Movement at Lexit Movement on Instagram. And we also have our page. It's called lexitmovement.us. God bless you guys. Bye.
Bye.